this is our big story. As Aneesha is with us on this big story, India-Canada stalemate continues. Amid diplomatic tensions between India and Canada, following Trudeau's explosive allegations of a potential involvement of India in the killing of Khalistani extremist Nijjar on his country's soil, Khalistanis have started to now plan huge demonstrations. And that with regard to the India's missions. They are threatening Indo-Canadian Hindus already. Gurwant Singh Pannu had already given out videos threatening Hindu community members to leave Canada soon. The Khalistani separatists are also planning to shut down Delhi's diplomatic mission in Ottawa and consulates in other cities of Canada. Now this after, remember, Pannu had already given out these videos and more appear to be joining in. But this could get concerning specifically for the Indian diaspora. Remember what has happened in the past few days. Trudeau gives out allegations, says potential involvement, backtracks, says I'm not here to escalate the situation. India must cooperate constructively with us. As and when the situation escalates, USA, UK, other countries do give out a statement. Do give out a statement that there needs to be caution and concern, but nothing more. Nothing that Canada would have liked at this point. And India has continued to maintain via its Ministry of External Affairs that no specific information has been provided to India, that India has always been more than willing to cooperate with any country. But the fact remains, look at these visuals on your screen. These are separatist, violent, these are protests that are taking place, referendums that are anti-India that are taking place on Canadian soil. Nijjar was no social activist. He clearly had the support of ISI of Pakistan. He's seen flaunting arms. He's seen interacting with Pakistani agencies as well. And yet, for some strange reason, despite having a criminal background, despite India alerting its extremist background, he becomes a citizen in Canada. That speaks more about Canadian officials than it does about India. I'm going back to Aneesha Mathur in Toronto. Now, Aneesha, you tell us, because you've been speaking to journalists and politicians, members of parliament who says that the Indo-Canadian community doesn't have anything to fear, we are with them. But what is the assessment on the ground? Is the separatist movement really very big in Canada, or is it in pockets? It may have slight support, but it's not something that the Sikh community definitely does not support it at that large level.
Well, clearly, Pooja, we've been speaking to the people on the ground, we've been speaking to political leaders, we've been speaking to journalists as well as community leaders. One and all, what people are saying is that while this is effectively a fringe, really about 1, 2 or maybe 5% of the Sikh population in Canada, but it is a very, very strong and very, very aggressive group of people who, while most Sikhs in the country may not support, they are also not exactly speaking out against, and in fact maybe scared of speaking out against. That is the sense that the journalists here, the community leaders here are giving us, that, well, you know what, most people don't support them, but they're aggressive enough, they're loud enough. These are youngsters who've come who are getting influenced politically, and that is why there is this kind of aggression that has come in. At the same time, there is a sense of disquiet, there is a sense of unease, that why is it that over the last few months, this kind of aggression, this kind of, if I may say that, in-your-face attitude when it comes to this kind of not just pro-Khalistan, but also a aggression towards other communities. Why that kind of incidents have happened, that is a question that even journalists and community leaders here are asking, that why is it that something like this has happened. Part of it is also the economic situation here. There are a lot of immigrants. There has been a housing crisis. There has been an economic crisis.
Correct.
One of the analysts has been saying that this could also be a factor, that there is enough youth which is unhappy, and that is coming out in form of political and religious aggression. At the same time, they're also saying that these youth, these young men are being used. They are being sort of misled. They are being sort of influenced politically for
and that's the fact. The
There's
fact
also
remains,
people-
Aneesha, that the larger Sikh community definitely does not support. It is a fringe element, but the fact is, like you correctly pointed out, it is influential. It is strong, and so strong for even Canadian Prime Minister to be actually taking a stand for the extremists, those who have a criminal background, and not for the larger Sikh community. I appreciate you joining us, and all the best for your reporting from Canada in the next few days. Thank you very much, Aneesha Mathur from Toronto.